All right, welcome back. We've got a short week. Yesterday was Memorial Day, so we took off yesterday to honor those in the that have defended this country and paid the ultimate sacrifice. A lot of times we get mixed up between, because we got Veterans Day that's always at the end of the summer, and you got Memorial Day at the beginning of the summer. But Memorial Day is for people that have actually died in the service of the country in the many different wars. And then, Veterans Day includes not only those guys that have passed away, but also anybody that has been a veteran. So both are very important. It's just for different reasons. And either way, I hope you have a wonderful week, short work week. Last week we had a murder trial in one courtroom and a bunch of pleas in another courtroom. What you're seeing, there's a lot to talk about, but I know you don't want to really get in the weeds. This murder trial, the gist of it is there were 6 young men that pulled in front and blocked in another person on D Street between Aner and Conway on 501, what we always refer to as Browntown, over in that area. L.A. Brown's trailer park on the left going toward Aner. There you'll see a street that comes up to 501. It's called D Street. But those guys in a car driven by Don Brown pulled in front, blocked the car in. They all jumped out of the car, fired, and killed one person. A lot to unpack there, but many times when we talk about how many murders are pending, that was charged with 6. That was 6 of our murders. And it doesn't always mean that there's 6 people that are dead. It is tracked by the number of defendants. So sometimes 4, 5, 6 people shoot at one guy, kill one person. Anyway, these young men, we had tried Trenaz Whittington about a month ago, and the judge at that point made the decision to break apart this trial and only allow Trenaz Whittington to go. The state says we want to join these cases together. The defense attorneys would say we want to break them apart and make it a lot longer of a process. The second judge said, look, the state, you've proven your point. As long as you can try it without statements against using people's statements against the other people, we'll let you try it. So we were able to try Shay Ransom, Don Brown, Trevante Mitchell. Last week, all of those were convicted. They all got the same sentence that Trenaz Whittington got. It's 45 years. That is day for day in the state system. In other words, it is 2023. Those young men should be getting out in 2068. That it is a tough thing that an emotion or a robbery or whatever turns into a murder and such a big price is paid. There's 2 other people, Shamonte Mitchell and Mickey McLeod, that are left. Those charges are still pending. But basically, the 4 of these got 180 years total together. And those are day for day years. In another courtroom, we had several cases where bond was at issue and bond was denied. So Randy Barnhill, 57, of Conway, is got 13 charges, including kidnapping and criminal sexual conduct first. His bond was denied. He's still in jail. And Tyrell Alston, who is 18, of Conway, He is accused of shooting at a police officer in the city of Conway. His bond was denied and he's in jail. Another case that got quite a bit of attention was 54-year-old Michael Orther of Myrtle Beach pled guilty to reckless homicide and received 8 years in that case. There was quite a bit, and it is my understanding that he had prior DUIs. He was convicted of, I think, 2 out of the 3 of those prior DUIs. Just to get the record straight, we prosecuted him on those also. And on a DUI, first offense, the most the judge could give you is 30 days. So yes, he had some priors, but they were all misdemeanor charges, and they, the most you could get for a DUI is 30 days. This one, he pled to reckless homicide. I just tell you that in each of these, every case is different. First thing you got to take into mind is he pled. He said, "Judge, I'm throwing myself on the mercy of this court. Please take that into consideration." And generally speaking, regardless of what the state says, if you throw yourself on the mercy and said, "I did what they said I did, Judge," you're going to get a lower sentence. You would not have gotten, these other young men would not have gotten 45 years had they thrown themselves at the mercy of the court. What they said is, "Pound sand, prove it." And once it was proven, then the judge is looking at a mandatory minimum 30 years, a maximum of life imprisonment. So 45 years is not overly extreme in a case like that. Number one, Orther said, "I did what you said I did. I deserve to go to jail. Judge, have mercy on me." He got 8 years. The second part of that is that case would have had to have been tried as a reckless homicide. It is very true that he was charged with felony driving under the influence, felony DUI. That carries from 1 year to 25 years. We couldn't go forward on that case because when you take somebody's swab or their blood or breath, that is a Fourth Amendment situation. And when that happens, you either have to have a search warrant or consent. In this case, they got a search warrant to get Orther's blood. That search warrant, in the body of it, said, "Judge, the reason we believe that there's probable cause to get his blood is because he told that he had had 8 beer." And that was in the body of the search warrant, right? So in preparation for trial, we said, "Hey, Trooper Ricky, did he give you that statement?" I think he gave that to Trooper Billy. So we go to Trooper Billy and say, "Trooper Billy, did he get?" I don't remember that. He may have, but I don't remember it. I don't know how that got into the search warrant. Somebody said something. But these guys are having to try to recreate what 3 or 4 or 5 people have done. So sometimes, anyway, that search warrant was not coming in. Therefore, the blood wasn't coming in. Therefore, the alcohol wasn't coming in. All right? So there's always more to it than just saying, "Hey," but a big part of that is even if he had pled to felony DUI, which we couldn't have, but even if he had, he could have still got 8 years or 7 years or 5 years. That goes on, the judge gets the sentence there. And when a person is coming in and saying, I did what you said I did, you're going to get a different sentence than if you come in and say, "Pound sand, pick 12, let's see where it goes." Shamonte Mitchell and Mickey McLeod, their cases are left open. If If it somehow ends up in a plea, you'll see a difference. Y'all have a great week. That's all I have for you. We are out of court this week, with it being a short week. So if you got any questions or anything like that, put them in the comments, and we will try to answer them next week.